Hello guys, so once again welcome back to Chili and today I am going to show you how to make this iPhone using only HTML and CSS files. And here I am not going to use any image for this iPhone or any kind of image or JavaScript file. Okay, so I will show you how to make this animation of this iPhone using only HTML and CSS file. So here I have two files of HTML and one file of HTML and second of CSS file. And so here I have the basic HTML skeleton and giving it title of iPhone, and then we have to link our style sheet with its reference, that is iPhone_u.css. Okay, so now inside the body I'm going to open a div tag with the ID of iPhone, and I'm closing it right here. Now inside this I'm going to open a header tag and giving it the ID, giving the ID of phone header. Now header tag is a tag that display our content in the head of our screen, computer screen. So here I'm going to close this header file also. Okay, so now inside the header file I'm going to open one more div tag with the ID of mic area, and I'm also going to close this div tag. Now inside this div tag I'm opening one more div tag and with the ID of mic, MIC. Okay, and then I'm closing it right here. Sorry, I'm closing it here. And now outside of the div tag I'm opening one more div tag with the ID of camera, and we will implement all these IDs in the CSS file. Okay, and then one more div tag with the ID of speaker area. You can obviously name it any ID or any name, and then inside this I'm opening one more div tag with the ID of speaker, and I'm closing the div tag right here. And then outside the header tag I'm opening one more div tag with the ID of screen, that will be our screen of the iPhone, and I'm going to close it right here. And then we have to add some footer for the buttons and other thing, and so then I'm going to open a footer tag that will target our bottom of our screen, so giving it the ID of button area. Okay, and now inside closing this footer tag also. And now inside this, first of all I will give some space here and write the code. Now inside the footer tag I'm going to open a div tag with the class of button. This will be our central button. I will show you. This is our class of button. Okay, and then closing this div tag also. Okay, so now what we are going to do is opening a div tag with the ID of all button and button 1, and closing this div tag. Now I'm going to copy this three more times. 1, and 3. Okay, now giving the same class of left button 2, left button 3, and R button. This means right button. Okay, and our div tag is closed right here. And I'm going to save it. And for the CSS file, I have already made a notepad file for it. So I will explain you one by one. First of all, we will copy this code. Okay, so where is our notepad file? So I'm going to copy this and pasting it here. Okay, so this will create the background color of our iPhone. So I'm going to open this in browser so you can clearly see it. Okay, you can see it. Okay, now our second part is for the class. Sorry, we have taken the ID here. No, so I'll copy all this stuff and explain you one by one. Copy this and pasting it right here. Okay, first of all we have to target our iPhone ID, so we have to put a hash symbol for the ID. So now I'm setting the position to relative for some animation purposes and margin to 30 pixels from the top, auto from the right, 30 pixels from the bottom, and auto from the left. Okay, so and then I'm setting the height and width to 550 pixels of height and 266 pixels of width. Okay, and then I'm going to give some border radius for the curve shape of the iPhone, and I'm giving the box shadows so it would look very nice. And then I'm giving the background color of the iPhone to a linear gradient and from to bottom, and RGBA, this means that RGBA means that red, green, blue, and 1 is the opacity value to 0, and RGBA 206, 208, 210, and 1 200%. Okay, now I'm targeting the phone header. This is the space between the screen and top of the phone. Okay, now I'm floating it left for animation purposes and height of 62 pixels and width of 100 pixels because we want it to be of the same size of the iPhone size, and setting the position to relative. And then for the ID of mic, I'm going to set it the width of 9 pixel, height of 9 pixel, and border radius of 100 pixel. So it will create a circle of a radius of 9 pixels and background to 000 and giving it the margin of 11 pixels and auto. 11 pixels means the top and bottom margin and auto means the left and right margin. Now the box shadow is a shadow for that mic. Okay, and inside shows that the shadow will be inside of the mic. Okay, so then I'm going to target the ID of the camera. So I'm putting hash symbol here and giving it the height of 12 pixels, width of 12 pixels, and position to absolute, and setting the position of the camera from 28 pixels from the top and 85 pixels from the left of our iPhone, and setting the background color to a hex code that is 24292C, and setting the border radius to 100% to make it a circle, and also giving some border shadow so it would look nice. Now for the ID of speaker, I'm giving it the height of 6 pixels and width of 42 pixels, background of 000, and margin of 0 from top bottom, and auto from left and right, and setting the border radius to 5 pixels and giving some box shadow that you already know how to do. Now I'm targeting the ID of screen, that is our iPhone's main screen, and giving the height of 422 pixels, width of 240 pixels, and background of a hex color of 171515, that is a black color, and setting the margin to 0 and 13 pixels. Now the 0 is the top and bottom margin, and 13 is left and right margin. Setting some border radius to 3 pixel and box shadow and giving the overflow to hidden. Okay, so now I'm going to target the button ID. It will give some buttons like power on, power off button, volume up, down, and silent button, etc. So first of all, I am setting a common for the button and setting the height of 45 pixel, width of 45 pixels, and background of a hex color, and setting the border radius to 100% and margin of 8 pixel or 2, and giving some box shadow. Okay, so now I'm targeting the button one, that would be a silent button for the iPhone, and giving it the height of 20 pixels and setting it at the top of the iPhone to 70 pixels. Now the button 2 would be slide downwards from the button 1, so I am going to set the top position to 115 pixels from the top. Okay, and height to 40 pixels. The button 2 and 3 will be for the volume up and down buttons. Okay, so this height will be same and setting the top position to 165 pixels. Okay, so now I'm going to target the left button and setting the width to 3 pixels and left minus 2 pixel and giving some background color and position setting to absolute and giving some border radius to make it curly, and also giving the border radius inside. Okay, so inside will give us the inside box shadow. So now I'm targeting the right button, and the right button would be of width of 3 pixels, height of 36 pixel, and of a background color even DDDB, and setting the position to absolute. And so after setting the position to absolute, I'm going to give some position and setting the right to minus 2 pixel and top to 115 pixels, and giving the border radius to 2 pixels for the curly, and giving the box shadow to inside and 1 pixel from the horizontal. I will show you how to give this, and this is like this: 1%, 1 pixel from the horizontal, 1 pixel horizontal, and 0 pixel from the vertical, and 0 pixel blur, and the last one is color. Okay, so now, and we can give more than one box shadows by putting a comma here, and at last of our box shadow we have to put a semicolon. Okay, so now I'm going to save it and opening in the browser. Okay, okay, you can see this, but we cannot see the buttons here, so we have to find what mistake we have done. Yeah, there is a class, and so we will give it ID and opening in the browser and refreshing it. Okay, you can see this button, but we cannot see the other buttons. So where is the mistake? So we'll find it, and the L button, it is okay. L button, okay, button 1, button 2, and button 3, that's all right. Okay, now I found the problem, and the problem is that we cannot give more than one IDs to a specific div. So I'll change it to a class so we can do it, and I have also changed it is the corresponding. So now I'm going to save it, and I'll opening in the browser. Okay, now we can see this, there is a mic, speaker, and the camera, and the button, and the right button also, and a silent button, and volume up and down button here. So now I'm going to add some JavaScript code for whenever we click on a button, it beeps or it produces a sound. So we can add it here by using the variable sound is equals to new audio, and the sound dot source is equals to bip.mp3. Okay, so then now I'm calling the function here on click is equals to sound.play. I'm going to save it and opening in the browser and refreshing it. And whenever I click on this, it bips, but it didn't because I forgot to calling the parentheses here. I'm saving it and opening and refreshing, but it's still not. Now, what's the problem? We have done all right. It is also okay. Okay, the A in the audio is capital, and I'm going to save it and refreshing it. Okay, now it's working. So that's it for this video, and if you guys really enjoyed my video, then please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the very next video. So thank you guys for watching my video.